Okay,
Did I stutter, mother?
Do y'all believe in seagulls?
no. Seagulls are a government invention.
I wouldn't be surprised. Those suckers should be out in the water. They should be on the water, but those things are mile inland. I saw seagulls in Tennessee. Why is a seagull in Tennessee?
Wait, why is a seagull in Tennessee? Why are you seeing seagulls in Tennessee?
Exactly. That's how I know that there's something up with those guys. There were seagulls in Vegas,
Oh, that's to
What?
Nevada.
be expected.
Okay, Vegas. Okay, Tennessee, one thing, but like Vegas, what?
Vegas. That's why I'm like seagulls. They should not be migrating that far inland. They
In the
shouldn't be
freaking desert. There's not any
in the
birds
desert.
in Las Vegas.
And they fly in packs.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well,
That's why
they are called rats with wings. I guess wherever you find rats is where you're going to find the seagulls.
yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
That's
Those suckers just yeah, these
that's
suckers.
so weird. Or at that point, are they even called seagulls anymore? They're just like gulls.
Just might as well be land gulls.
I was just joking about the government invention thing, but damn, like, all right, now it seems like they
Yeah,
are.
they're used to spy on us, especially in these metropolitan centers.
Hmm.
That does make sense. That's the I wouldn't put it past the U.S. government. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I just don't. Like I feel like if I don't see uh like what's a cell phone tower,
Hmm.
I don't see seagulls. That's how I know. I don't put it past the U.S. I know. I know. Shoot. But
Actually,
but
that's a good topic to cover, you know. Like what is the government hiding from us? You know what? We were
oh
actually going to talk about a different thing, but now I'm actually kind of invested. I want to talk about this.
I would not shoot. I would know and wouldn't know at the same time, and
Oh
everything. And that's
shit.
what that plausible deniability is. What's crazy about the government can always say, "Well, we really don't know." There's someone who knows. We just not talking to the right person. And even if it's like top secret classified, because what they just released. Did y'all see that they just released the invasion of what it was like 1847? How the United States was going to invade Canada.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
No, I
Canada.
didn't. I didn't hear about that. What?
Oh, they just declassified that, and they showed the map and how they would have done it.
It would have
That's
been a bad war.
Honestly, in 1847, I think we'd have dog walked everybody. I think what 1847. What was happening in 1847? I just know that we were probably still up top. What we was two back to back World War champs. I think we gonna win. I
I
think we
think I
guaranteed
think
to
you got
walk
the
away.
wrong century. You got
Wait,
the wrong
hold on.
century.
1847 or 1947? I think it's
It
1947.
might be 1947, but I don't.
1847 is before the Civil War.
Yeah.
Why would wait? All right, yeah, no, because I think we already got the Louisiana Purchase and all that type of stuff. So yeah,
Oh yeah.
it had to be after. It had to be 1947.
All
Okay.
right,
So
hello everybody. Welcome to the next episode of Unfiltered Pineapple. I am your
Oh,
host Orik, joined by my friends Miles and Ari today.
hello.
what's up? What's up?
Yeah, this is a podcast, a little recording gathering of friends where a group of 9 of us rotate between sessions, just talking about whatever comes to mind and whatever interests us. So thanks for tuning in. Now, Miles, it's definitely 1847 is before the Civil War. That either way, we probably could have still beat Canada,
Yeah,
but it's a
I think yeah.
much different
Unless
fighting strategy.
Is Canada
unless
even a nuclear power?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
see, but like right now, what if Canada is actually running the United States? See that I don't even want to get into that type of stuff because
Wait,
that's
what?
where. See, you never know because right now what? Who was running the United States first? It was England. It was the British, and now the British is now like a second class power or a second power, and we're the first class power. and it was like we're going against Russia. But what if secretly Russia and the United States is controlled by Canada or some small ass country that we don't even believe in? But they've been had like what the next nuclear power is. See, that's what I said. That's the type of stuff I know the government's keeping from us. And
I just
Iran's just trying to get Iran's just trying to get to nuclear. And North Korea, those dumb guys are still struggling to get missiles past Japan.
I just got a message from like the
United States. Oh
producer.
man,
No,
we
no,
got to
no, no,
stop.
no, no.
Oh
Our podcast producer that Canada is in fact a nuclear power, and I think I was just shook because like,
wow.
wait, like what do they have? Like ICBMs? Like I
They
can't
they
imagine
have nuclear
Canada.
energy. No, no, no.
No,
They
but
have
like,
nuclear energy. They don't have nuclear weapons.
oh, okay. I just wanted to clarify that because
Oh,
like
okay.
I was shook for a second. I was like, you're telling me that there's
Canada.
nukes in Alberta or Quebec? Like,
No, no,
Hey,
no. Like
listen,
I
all
think like
right.
Canada.
15% of their total energy is generated from nuclear power, but they don't have nuclear or chemical warfare weapons.
I'm gonna
Oh,
take
okay.
They rely on America for that.
Yeah, and I kind of zoned out of the conversation when I was shook by that. So
It's
honestly,
okay.
I
It's
don't know
okay
what
to
you
be
just
sick.
said, Miles. Like, so wait, is it like the U.S. is controlling these small countries?
No, I'm saying like some other country is controlling the United States, like either financially or either saying, "Hey, listen, we understand y'all have this, and we y'all have to also understand that we control everything to where, like, this is where, and this is just me like throwing out conspiracy theories.
Right.
What
But
if
wait, like, would it be a country or a group of people? Because I feel like a group
it,
of
it,
people would be like more
it could be a
like
group of
real.
people? But what
But
was
like, I can't imagine Canada controlling us. Like,
what was that? So like those sovereign citizens, they always be saying, Morocco controlled the United States and some treaty and this and that. And I'm like, you know what? Y'all really believe in this? So why? How come nobody's debunked this to where they debunk it so bad that y'all have to stop thinking this?
hmm,
But that's also like on the whole, like it takes a lot for someone to stop believing in what they believe in. So, but could there be some truth in it? Yeah. But could there be a country that says, hey, listen, we have so much money that we can destroy your economy to where the only thing that y'all can do, United States, to get out of debt is to start another war. And y'all don't want that because if y'all start another war with this country, we can go straight to nuclear and the whole planet's gone.
hmm. I mean, I guess like with the whole theory about like a country like controlling the US is kind of just like, I mean, I guess there's arguments to be made that like China could be like economically manipulating the US to do stuff, but I mean, I can't see a country. I can see like maybe like a group of people, like maybe like the
The
elite
Illuminati,
Illuminati.
or
Illuminati
the
style, yeah.
the Illuminati or something like, because it seems like the interest of like the common American person is completely different than like what American policy is. Just the fact that like I don't know if you've ever seen like there was like a graph where it shows like what Congress, like the bills that Congress votes on versus like what the voters would want Congress to pass, and they're like completely different.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Like they're sometimes more than likely they're contrary to what the American people want. And
See,
so
but
it,
that's
it
where it's like,
and
why?
I thought this was a republic, like the people that we send, our representatives, like, would vote for stuff that we would want instead of,
Hmm.
like, well, who wants all of these policies? Like, who wants, I guess, like, the largest military in the world, or, like, I don't think the American people want, like, just like wars. And I think the
Yeah,
common American is a very, like, very anti-war and anti,
Let
getting
me go
involved
about
in other
let me go
countries.
about my day. Yeah, let me go about my day. Don't let me worry about other countries, other stuff. Just let me do my own thing.
I am pro war 100%. Every day, I like conflict. I want to battle, but I don't think we have to
You just
fight.
want some
I
drama,
think,
Miles.
I think we should do is say, you know what, countries, what do you want to do? Do you want to fight? And then what type of fight do you want? Because I would say, you know what? Just like the Olympics, U.S. was whooping everybody in basketball. I think we should all have a big old basketball match, or based on your Olympics is based on how much you can really talk. If your Olympics suck, hey, shut up. I think, but that's just coming from a winner. We take gold almost every time. But
when you're a winner on everything, it's easier to make the rules in your favor.
yeah, it's easy to make the rules. That's where, but it's also fun. But I think we should put in. we should make our wars, but not like people got to die. Or what if we put our prisoners against each other?
Oh my god.
We put our top athletes against each other, or we put our top scholars against each other. And
Put
instead
your
of
money
saying,
where your mouth is.
put your money where your mouth is, instead of, let's say, like how the space race was. Oh, the space race made us better. Oh, okay. Well, let's do some other races to make us better. Let's do whoever finds out if which food we shouldn't really be eating, or who can be the first one to discover the cure to cancer.
Who
If
can
you
do the
win
best
at that,
magic?
hey, listen.
Who can
You
do the
win.
best magic trick wins.
Who can do the best magic trick? Who can make someone fly? Who can discover if dragons were real? That's what we should be doing. That type of stuff
Dragons
instead
are
of
real.
fighting each other, because then you're not just better in your country. You better in everybody in the planet.
Hmm.
I would. You find out the cure to cancer. Now there's a whole discussion about, does the pharmaceutical company want people to
Uh-oh.
do that? Yeah, that's another discussion. But if we can find those type of questions out, I can be like, yeah, that's more important than war. But everybody's like, you know what? If everyone got nuclear powers, then the world pretty much is guaranteed to end, because you're always gonna get that crazy person in charge. You're just like Hitler on cocaine. You always get that crazy person that can always just press the button.
Hitler was on speed, by the way.
Speed, yeah, that man was on. So I saw a video of him
Is that
tweaking at the
confirmed?
letters. I was like, oh,
Is that confirmed? Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was method or not. Isn't it? What is it like?
I know he was on like a steady thing daily of like highs and lows of constant medicine to keep him going each day.
Amphetamines.
Okay.
Imagine Hitler on meth.
oh man, he would have sold Germany for $45. He was on meth.
Oh man.
Yeah, that man. But that's where I think we need I like conflict. I'll tell you, I like the battle for battle. You got a winner, you got a loser. But
That should be like the title of our video. I like war.
I like war, but I'm not the average citizen in America. I bet you there's a lot of people that would feel like, you know what, I like war, but they don't want to say it. I'm not afraid to say it. I like it. I like conflict. I like battles. I like winners and losers.
I like drama.
You like the essence of competition. That's what it
Yeah.
is. The drama and the excitement that comes from it. Not necessarily
Yeah.
shooting someone down and killing them. Yeah.
Yeah, that comes with it, but yeah.
Oh my
It's
god.
it's a side effect of the competition. Yeah. I get that.
Yeah, it's a side effect. Gotcha.
In the grand scheme
if
of
we
things, you fight war for winners and losers. You don't fight for the body count. You fight for winners and losers. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you account for you're right. You gotta you're right. Because
You don't go to war
won
trying
by
to get
how many
the highest body count on your side. You're like, yeah, look at us. No.
they will look at you like, let's not go over there anymore. Let's not talk to those people. Those people out here putting heads on stakes, and that's.
Well, that goes to conversation for world peace then. if we're all just like, all right, let's start a war just for
But that's
just see where it goes. Just see where it goes. Yeah.
Society, like as a species, we like the conflict, but we want the conflict to come to an end and then have peace. That's where, for me, it's like we always have like competitions like sports and football that lay the foundation of, yes, we have this constant competition at all times, like all throughout the year, because yes, all right, we have an instinct to saying, I want to root for my side, and at all times I'm going to root for this side. that's the same with war. It's like, all right, I'm gonna root for my country. Same with the Olympics. Yeah, I'm gonna root, but
Tribe
who like
mentality.
does
Mhm.
Tribe
anybody not?
mentality.
Does it? And I might be weird about this, but does anybody not like that? Like they don't like competition. They're like, why does it have to be your team versus my team? Why can't we all just be one team? Are people really like that?
Yeah, there's plenty of people like that, especially a lot of introverts and shy people. Not necessarily they're peace lovers, but they don't necessarily care for the interaction in the first place, or they aren't competitive in nature, so they have no
Hmm.
interest in winning or losing.
Well, I think the thing is like, does competition yield like results better than if you were to work together for a common goal? That's my thing.
Yes,
Ooh, but I think that you're not gonna get. I don't think you're gonna get that goal faster when you know that you
Yeah.
don't have a pace to meet.
I guess like the best thing to think about would be like, analogizing it. Like let's say so competition is what yields like results. So for instance, like I guess the analogy would be like, the US military discovering microwave,
Mhm.
versus like NASA discovering like aerogel. Like those are two different instances where like competition, like from conflict yields results versus, working together yields
whoa.
results.
No. All those were discovered from Roswell. That was all alien technology that they reverse engineered. Let's get that straight.
So all those were.
But no, touching on that, I guess it is also situational. Like you don't want it does help to be competitive with the sciences, but you don't want to get the right result through the wrong means. Where you blow up a country, but you found the cure for cancer. You'd rather find it a different way, a little less
Yeah.
violently.
And that's where I think when you put countries against each other, or like how the space race was, to where it's like, yeah, we're gonna send the first person to the space. Okay, well, we're gonna send the first person to the moon. All right, well, we're gonna send someone to the moon, but be efficient. To where it's like, how many dogs did we send up and monkeys did we send up just to test if we can get somebody up there? Like that type of stuff is like, yes, we should be testing. Let's go. Let's beat Russia. Let's beat China. Let's beat Japan.
Hmm.
Well, Japan probably gonna whoop all of us in the technology scale, but and that's why U.S. is like, all right, well, let's build more missiles because we're good at it. Like it makes sense. Why we the number one in military production and all that type of stuff, and Russia, I don't know what Russia's number one at building UFC fighters. I don't know what they.
Hmm.
But that's where it's like we need competition like that, but like on a global scale, like the average person sees it to where they're like, okay, I need
Hmm.
to strive to also be a part of this because I want to root for my country. But
Hmm.
we get we I think we need more competition, but on like a let's better this world scale.
Like the Nobel Peace Prize, but extremely competitive.
But
Ag-
extreme,
aggra-
yeah,
Aggressively competitive, yes. Not just like, hey,
yes.
we looked at your results from 15 years ago and we're going to give you this award. It's like, yo, you want this next year, you better earn it.
You better earn it, yes.
Hmm.
Like your whole NFL team of your country, and like for all the countries that don't have NFL players, whatever your high grossing sport team is, they need to be backing y'all financially 100% because they are rooting for you because the reward is not just the Nobel Prize, it is like no taxes for a year, something like that, like something
Hmm.
crazy that everybody's like, yes, we need this.
You can pick one commodity from another country and claim it as your own for a year.
Oh.
Hmm.
Oh, see that? Yeah.
You get some serious incentive with that one. You got Kenya stealing Saudi Arabia's oil. You got
Mm, that's a good question. Oh man. See, and that's why it's like I don't want to say like we don't want no indenture servitude or anything like that. Like your country comes over and rebuilds our roads or something like that, or like oh man, I don't even know what that could be. What could be a reward for something as groundbreaking as the cure to cancer? it comes. No, your country gets free medicine of the cancer if you get the cure. Ooh,
Hmm.
that would be nice. That would be so if Australia and whatever place y'all finish, that's the place that you get that cure or that innovation that is now available to the world.
That's the order in which it's distributed.
Yeah. Shoot. That'd be some. Hey, I think that probably in the next 15 to 25 years, we might implement something like that.
Just build your own foundation right now, Miles, and within 10 years, you'll be the next biggest Nobel Peace Prize
Yeah.
The Miles Award.
organization. Yeah, for going the extra miles.
Ah.
Why did you do that? You ain't need to go. But there's oh my gosh, but there and then like the fact of like some people might come up with something just straight out of like luck. Like what was the there's so many groundbreaking stuff to where they're like they didn't even mean to build this. They were trying to build the nuke and then they ended up with NyQuil.
The rubber
NyQuil is now
band. Yeah,
like
the rubber
yes,
band.
Yeah.
yeah, like something crazy to where it's like yeah, they were they
Chocolate
were
chip
creating
cookies were an
medicine.
accident. Chocolate
Yeah,
chip
they were
cookies were apparently an accident.
really.
Mm.
Yeah, I gotta look that up. Let me
You
check
know
on
what?
that. You keep
Fried
talking.
chicken probably came from accident. You know, they probably just accidentally dropped chicken in grease. It was like, well, someone got to eat it. And it's actually pretty
Oh
good.
man.
Like that type of stuff. Like, but that's where it's like some of our groundbreaking breaking stuff could literally become from just straight on. Just it just happened to happen,
Hmm.
and that's where I think we should challenge people more to be like, hey, listen, stop being TikTokers and get out there and try to make this world a better place.
So what you're saying is like a TikToker would not come up with a cure for cancer?
A TikToker can't even come up with a cure to their own natural.
Yeah,
I mean,
We
chocolate
like
chip cookies.
I guess
Chocolate chip cookies were an accident. Just looked
yeah,
it up.
whole accident.
Yeah, basically, someone was just trying to melt chocolate into a different mixture, and it wouldn't melt, so they just served it that way. Like, oh, this is better.
See that's right there. But that's the type of stuff that is something we could we if more people had invention mindsets or innovative minds to challenge their norm and be like, you know, let's try something new. That's something that like me and a future electrical engineer is like, yeah, I want to try something crazy. Like I want to be able to say, what if I built something that could pull all electrons closer to each other? It might already be out there, and I might end up creating the next, not a nuclear bomb or electron bomb or something like that.
hmm, that'd be cool.
That top. Go ahead. Go ahead. What you about to say?
No, no, I mean like that'd be really cool. But I was gonna ask, like, do you guys like follow like science YouTube or science? I mean, if there even is like a science TikTok.
Science YouTube is Neil deGrasse Tyson. All his
I mean,
YouTube videos.
there's some good producers or like content creators on YouTube that are very high science, like ASAP Science, for instance. It really
Oh
depends,
yeah.
like, yeah, it really depends on like what you're looking for, like, or PBS Space Time, for instance. But I have one that I just recently like followed, Nile Red, and he's like a chemistry channel, like I mean, like he posts like.
Mark Rober's the famous one. I don't know of any others.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never
I
heard of Nile.
remember I remember the video with Nile Red, like he got like this like anal lube and it had like a chemical in it that was like lidocaine and it's supposed to be like a numbing agent. And so like he extracted it from like the the anal lube.
Is this how that guy cheated at the chess championship?
I don't know. Is because there's a video. There's this video of this dude pulling out some type of metal out of bananas.
Potassium?
then he pulled out potassium out of bananas and then threw it in the water, and that sucker blew up.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yep.
Like that type of stuff, to know that you need this chemical to melt down this part to melt down this part. That just imagine who was the first person to figure that stuff out. And then
Yeah,
to know that's not going to explode in water.
Yeah, you also have
Yeah.
to know how much you need too, because it's not like one drop. It's like, oh, I need a gallon of this to make this reaction. Sometimes, so they're
Yeah,
trying it out too. Like, I'm going to make this work eventually.
yeah, and oh my god, and for a fact the first people doing it, they weren't in labs and they weren't wearing masks.
Yeah.
They cut their life span in half just by sniffing all them fumes.
I think
But
the creator, or like what is it? Not even inventor, like the discoverer of radiation, Marie Curie, like she had these metals that like irradiated basically, and like she ended up getting cancer. And yeah, she was like the discoverer of like radiation, and it's just crazy, like like everything, like her lab like is still preserved, but yet is very radioactive in there.
and that's something to where it's like that's what our next huge invention that comes out the world could have already came out, and they just not telling us it yet right now.
Or they just can't detect it.
Ooh. Or they died
Yeah.
before the person could even say, I figured it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. The first person's. Oh, that's a.
and
That's
the best.
definitely.
Sorry to interrupt, but the best part about that is the scientific community likes to test and recreate to make sure things are true. So you got the one person that makes a discovery and dies, and someone else is like, oh, let's see what he did here.
Yep, he going too. Like, bam. Oh, I guess he was right.
bunch of dominoes.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, our smartest people go by chasing the same. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
there's the end result of some of your competition, Miles. All the smartest minds all die looking for the newest, biggest discovery, and then they have to recreate it to prove it's true.
Yeah, see that part.
You
Yeah,
near
and
you near you nearly died with that last explosion, but can you show us how you did it again? So
yeah,
we
Do
can
it one more
record it.
time.
We got to
Do it
record. We
many
got to
times,
document
actually.
this.
Yeah.
yeah, you can't do it five times fast. Yeah, it's not real. Like what? Or the person that finds out how to do it, and then they find out a way not to die from it.
Hmm.
It's like, oh, yeah, I guess I got lucky that time. Like,
There,
shoot.
that reminds me of like the running meme on the internet about like people like back thousands of years ago, like taste testing like mushrooms and like plants and stuff just to see like what's edible and what's like, I don't know,
Crazy.
hallucinogenic or
That's
what kills
wild.
you.
Someone's got
Wow.
to eat it.
Yeah.
You see, yeah, that's wild. That right there, like, oh,
Uh,
just to find out, like, I still don't understand why dogs can't eat chocolate, but apparently they die. So, or they have a really bad stomach ache.
it has to do with like a chemical related to caffeine that's found only in chocolate, and yeah, they get poisoning from that.
That's yeah.
Their
Yeah, it's
bodies
the
can't
stomach.
process it.
Yeah, same with grapes and raisins. It's the chemical. There's a certain chemical that's found in them that the stomach doesn't know. The intestines don't know how to process.
Mm, I did not know that. I did not
Just
know
like
that.
just like birds can't have certain food, different animals just aren't used to different kinds of acids and ingredients because it's just
Yeah.
not natural for them.
It's crazy how people can eat anything. That's my thing.
I don't, I don't think we
With
can eat anything.
Well, I mean, like compared to like a lot of
name
stuff.
something. Name something we can't eat, Miles.
Yeah,
Puffer fish.
yeah,
If you put it into bite-sized pieces, name something we can't eat.
that other animals can eat.
Puffer fish.
People do that all the
Actually,
time in
no, we
Japan.
eat that. We eat that.
All
Like
the
we
time
have
in
to.
Japan.
it has to be sliced perfectly, and
Yeah.
animals can just eat that sucker all the way up and just yep, it's not sliced perfectly. It's not the
That's
poison.
a good
I just ate
point.
the whole thing,
That's
and that's
actually a good point because like dolphins can like what they do is like they
They
bite
get
onto it
high.
and they get
They,
high.
they get high off
yeah,
pufferfish, which is
yeah. They just
hysterical.
eat it. Yeah, just eat that sucker like it's nothing, and we do
No,
the same thing.
they don't even eat them. They just toss them around like volleyballs. They literally will they'll hit a pufferfish to each other. They'll bite into it, take some
Like
air, get
weed.
high, and pass it over.
What
Yeah.
Take a puffer.
what's the other thing? What was the other thing that we can't eat? It's like a fruit. It's like a I don't know if it's a jackfruit or it's some type of fruit to where it's like you will get some type of poisoning from it. I can't remember, but I'm definitely gonna. It's gonna
Roots.
hit my. Oh my god! It's some type of fruit to where it's like yes, you cannot eat this whatsoever, or you will die. And these orangutans just out here that yep, okay, just eating them.
Hmm. Interesting.
But I'm gonna figure that out. I'm gonna Google that once this is over. That'll be my main mission.
That'll be your
But
homework for tonight before the next before the next
look,
recording. That's your homework.
there's so many things that I think there's a lot of things that we can't eat that other species have built an adaptation or just a way that their bodies can now cope with it. And,
Yeah.
oh man, what was it? Lemurs did something to where they can eat something and then their saliva, if they bit us, it would be they got it from. God, what is that? Don't worry,
Isn't
it's
it
another.
isn't it
Are you
that
talking about a
koalas
Komodo
eat the
dragon?
various
Not Komodo dragons because Komodo dragons can pretty much eat anything we can eat.
Hmm.
It's an animal that eats something to where it gives them a toxin that they have adapted to now use that as a line of their defense.
koalas
Interesting.
will eat super acidic leaves that we can't eat, but it gives them diarrhea all the time. No,
Okay.
it's a joke in Australia. If you see koalas, you know that there's just a storm coming down any moment now.
Eucalyptus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Eucalyptus. Yeah, that's what they eat.
man. But that's where it's like our bodies are like you to figure out the stuff that like the human body can eat and what we're supposed to be eating. Like there's stuff to where it's like people's like, yes, you're supposed to be eating sea moss every day because it actually carries all the vitamins that the human body actually needs. That and it will help move bowel movements and all that type of stuff. And it's like, how come this is only known really in Jamaica, and the people from Jamaica have brought the sea moss culture over to the U.S. Now, what other countries don't know about this stuff? Like, is it so powerful that these other countries don't have stuff like this over there?
Well, I think
That's
that
how.
answers your question. Jamaica's controlling the U.S. then.
See, there it is. There it is. Shoot, how do first of all, for weed to be so illegal, how come there was so much weed and my mom was smoking that sucker in the mountains? See, right. Mm-hmm. I got questions. I got questions.
Oh man.
Shoot, there's it's living
Oh,
living in the U.S. There's so many questions that we don't have that somebody have, and they're just gonna look at you in the face like you ain't know that. I knew that about 28. I'm 64 now, and that's where it's like, how do you go around the world and say what don't I know? You can't just ask someone what you don't know. And that's
hmm.
that's something to where for me, I'm like, you know what? Hey, I'm well aware that I don't know. I don't know anything. And I'm just gonna say, start off. I don't know anything. Teach me. And if you can't teach me, listen. If you find out something, you just assume that I don't know, and you tell me about it. And then I'm gonna have to fact check it, and then that leads in a whole another cluster of worms. And but
I'm gonna fact check it by talking to the guy behind you. Make sure he knows what you
exactly, yeah.
know.
Hey, you know about this? Yeah, they shrug their shoulders too. Like, oh, yeah, man, that sounds right.
I got no way to prove it wrong.
Yeah, it's true. But that's like, I don't know. I'm thinking about just how innovative can we make this world before we all end up leaving this planet? I'm not saying in a spaceship. I'm saying when you're not breathing no more. when you're unalive.
Pushing up daisies.
Unalive.
That's
Sleeping with
what,
the fishes.
sleeping
Yeah.
with the fishes or sleeping with the worms, however you want your body to be
Burnt to a
processed.
crisp.
Yep, or burnt to a crisp and laid in the jars until one of your kids asks what this jar is and spill your.
Clean it up to make sure that it's nice and shiny.
Yeah, clean the inside out just to make sure. Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Yeah, just a little bit of Dawn soap. Make everything scrub on out. Everything's nice and shiny, nice and clean. It works great on oil spills. It works great on your herbs too.
Oh my god. But yeah, I have so many philosophies on how. But I'm not gonna. I feel like we went on a tangent. What was the initial question?
I don't remember.
You were complaining. You were arguing that there's someone else controlling the United States,
Oh,
whether a
yeah.
country or a group of people.
I
Jamaica.
do not.
Yeah.
Right now, yep. I think that was our conclusion to that. Jamaica's controlling everybody. Everybody. Jamaica out there, and Jamaica will look us in the face and be like, "How are we controlling anybody? How in the world?"
They stay under the radar very easily. People don't suspect them.
That's true.
I never would have suspected Jamaica, and now I do. Actually, it's too suspicious now.
All right,
It's like, look, that they're on an island, like, and just like minding their own business, but weed isn't even legal there, and there's so much going on. Like, what's going on, really?
There? It's not legal.
No, it's not. It is very heavily criminalized, I think.
I don't know. I watched. See, and that's where it's like on YouTube. I'll have like on another YouTube channel. I'll create a YouTube account and just subscribe to all the different countries like political stuff. And I've subscribed to their like PBS Jamaica, and they just have their Congress people arguing, and I'm just like this. This just sounds like a cookout in the backyard. This don't sound like any type of. Yeah, so Mr. What do you want? No, sorry, and then some other country start yelling. I'm like, what in the world is happening? So that's what I don't think is Jamaica. But if y'all did have who would y'all think if the United States wasn't running their country or didn't have full control? What other country you think would have that control?
I mean, this whole conversation, I don't know why. I've got no justification, but Lithuania has been in my head for 40 minutes now.
Ooh, okay.
What makes you think Lithuanians?
I just said I have no basis.
No justification. It's just
I can't think of any other country.
Eastern European country. They're very, very quiet, and all of a sudden they are in the national news because of like Russia's invasion of Ukraine. And Russia is like it was like a former Soviet state, Lithuania. So yeah, I mean I can sort of see that.
I can see that. I ain't never heard of them.
Actually, I have a good reason to think
it's north of Poland.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's along that stretch of Europe that takes you up to Scandinavia.
Gotcha. Okay.
Here's my take. I think Ireland is secretly controlling the US. And here's why. Okay, so the Irish are all over the world, but they're especially numerous in the US. Like even the current president is like, of Irish descent. So it makes you think like they have some control, and they're known for their alcohol. And guess what? Like the majority of the world has alcohol.
Okay.
And then the fact that they pull all levers of government here in the US. They're relatively small. It's very quiet. Like you barely ever hear anything from Ireland. I think they have significant control here.
And they're
the Irish.
And they're a tax haven for the longest time, so companies aren't going to push back against them either.
Apple of all places, has been sheltering their tax money in Ireland.
Yeah,
it makes you think
they're on good terms with all the companies too, all the news medias and
Well,
Oh, and
That's
it's
a
also
ooh.
part of the European Union.
Mm,
Uh-huh.
mm. Yeah, I feel like Great Britain. It can't be Great Britain because they queen died and their whole country was in whack for a little bit. I was like, yeah, they can't. I don't believe in them. They had too many traditions that they still following. Yeah, nah.
Yeah, Ari, are you talking about Northern or Southern Ireland?
We're talking about the Republic of Ireland. We're not talking about Northern Ireland that,
Part
should
of Great
actually.
Britain. It's part of Great Britain, yeah.
Actually, I know. You know what? I'm going to stay out of Irish politics. I'm not making any comment about that. I'd
Oh,
rather
really? Now you
no.
stop?
I stop myself like from making any
Yeah, Conor
public
McGregor was
comment
trying to
about
beat the best.
Ireland. I just
You're gonna
wish
get
them well. I
you're
wish
gonna
them
get
well
yourself involved
for
in some more
peace.
troubles. You're gonna get
I
involved in more
Yeah.
troubles.
stop, stop.
And when you go missing, we're gonna be like, "Yep, he was right."
Oh my
They're gonna
god.
be like, he's with Eris. What's it,
I
Snowden?
I do not want to get like
I
kidnapped by any Irish person.
Because I was gonna say who I really think it was gonna be, but now I'm gonna say Mexico because I don't believe Mexico whatsoever. It's gonna take over no country. Their airplanes still have propellers on it, so I don't believe whatsoever that Mexico got any type of control other than El Chapo, which El Chapo is a very dangerous man. I don't know if he already broke out of prison or not. The second or third time? But yeah, that
He
man
should
runs
still be in
Mexico.
Colorado.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's still
that
in
man.
Colorado.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
man
know.
is
Mexico exerts a good force in the U.S. Like, have you been to anywhere that doesn't have a taco place or like a Mexican restaurant? Like, no,
no,
they're
not at
everywhere.
all. Yeah, they're everywhere. They
Yeah.
that's how they get us. They once you have one taco, you're controlled. Ooh, and never
Tequila.
oh, I know what. And
Tequila.
tequila comes from a plant.
Yeah.
Yep. See. Mm-hmm.
hmm They're
I think
controlling us.
The United States should just take over Mexico, build a whole bunch of beautiful yachts and townhouses, so all these TikTokers can go to a very sunny and beautiful place. The only thing they got to worry about is hurricanes.
So another Florida.
Another Florida, yeah. Uh, and it probably would make Florida less crazy because Mexico would
I
then turn crazy.
I feel like Mexico is better than Florida.
Oh,
I've
Mexico is
never
way better.
been, but like like there's no way that Mexico isn't like orders of magnitude better than Florida.
Mexico's they just have a way lower poverty level.
Than Florida? Yeah.
Much lower. Like I've been to Mexico a couple of times, but like only to like the touristy areas.
Mm.
So where it's like I
Cancun,
guess
stuff like that.
like Cantu, like Cozumel.
Mm.
Yeah, you go in there, you're like, okay, yeah, Mexico,
I want some
Mexico. Yeah,
tequila now.
yeah. I want some water because I feel like I'm gonna have a flashback with tequila, and I ain't trying to do that. Tequila rough, tequila rough,
Mm.
too rough on your soul. But no,
Talking about all those countries real quick, I couldn't remember it for detail, but I found it. There's a fun phrase I like about rumors, like, which country's in charge. It's never believe any rumor until it's been officially denied.
Yeah.
mm, mm, maybe
Wait, wouldn't
Egypt.
hold on. If it's officially denied, then that would give credence to the rumor.
That's the whole point. Don't
That's
believe a
the
rumor
point.
until it's been officially denied.
So once it's denied,
What
then be
did the
like, why'd you have to
US
deny it?
I feel like the US denied something along those
They
lines.
deny a lot of stuff. They deny
They,
Roswell.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think what countries have they denied? The United States has shook its hands with so many countries. It's just like, you know what? What if the United States is just a pawn and everyone we just the world's military and they're like, United States, y'all really not really a country.
We're the
So
muscle. We're the muscle.
yeah, y'all the muscle. Y'all, we just gonna allow y'all to have fun and play TikToks and have Hollywood and realize
The whole
if
rest of
we
the
don't
world,
stay,
like
yeah, the rest of the world's like, yeah, we're actually country. U.S. is that corporation over there. Those hillbillies and Hollywood people. They just do their thing over there. We have tradition over here because we're country.
I think
Like,
you like hit the nail on that because I think that's how a lot of people like in other countries feel about the US. They're just
wouldn't
like
be
that's not a real country. Let's be honest. Like
I wouldn't be surprised. Like, our country is United States of America. United States. Like, first of all, we're if if we're the United States, all right. So as most countries, yes, you have
yeah,
a country. We're a country with states, and each states has their own governor, and then they have
own
their own
government, yeah.
Supreme Court, and then so we have federal and like. Do other countries have federal and state laws?
No.
I doubt
Well,
it.
no, yeah,
Not
they
that
do.
I know of. Not that
Hold
I know
on.
of.
What? No, you're talking. Okay, so fun fact: there is also another United States out in the world. Is
You
the
scaring
United?
me. Come on now.
There is the United States of Mexico,
Yeah.
Oh my God. The
and then
United States of America.
yeah, and like Brazil is also like a federal system too, like the U.S. Like they have the whole national government, and then they have like their own like
County, state, whatever term they use. Yeah.
I don't remember if they use province or if they use something else, but yeah.
That's fascinating to me.
Argentina also. Hmm.
Argentina. See that type of stuff is fascinating to me because it's like, but it's like, do what they still say? Yes, the United States is the actual country, and we believe in them and to be doing the right thing for the world. And no, they don't. We are literally just the world's army.
The title for like the United States, like just being called the United States, I mean, like
Mm-hmm.
it's an awesome title, like for a country,
Mm-hmm.
but is it really serious? Like, like, can you really call yourself a country if you call yourself the United States?
Or the
Or
USA, like
no,
your
or
three
of
stuff.
America? Like, wait, where is America? What is America? Like, there is a whole America. There's the North and South America. Like, it's a
That's a good
continent.
point.
Like, come on,
That's a good
like,
point.
what? Are you a really serious country?
But
Like,
yeah,
I mean,
that's how you know.
Canada is a much more serious country because like Canada like is a proper name for a country, or Mexico is a proper name for a country. You don't call the USA like America. I mean,
Well,
some
the
There,
people
question
do,
is,
but like that's
what
not an
was
official
America
title
called?
though.
What was America called before it was called America? It was just
It
the
colonies,
was the
world was flat.
colonies.
colonies. Yeah, the British
No,
colonies.
before the British colonies, like where did they land? What did they actually land on? Because it's not Indian. Because it's not India. Because they thought they landed on India or Columbus.
No,
That's why I was like,
for the longest time they thought it was India or the Indias, and then they
mm,
thought it was just colonies, settlements when they realized it wasn't India. And it wasn't America until I forget his name, but Captain American came over.
Captain America.
So
Don't you mean
whatever,
Amerigo
whatever
Vespucci?
is
Amerigo
that his name?
Vespucci.
Is that
Yeah.
yeah? There was a guy named America that came over. Wasn't he the captain though of the trip? That's,
well,
that's what I was referencing.
that was when Stan Lee was still alive. He was alive long enough to see all that. That's where it's like this. Look, just thinking about all this type of stuff. It's like there's so many possibilities, but the biggest thing is trying to figure out the next. Like, how are we as young people in their 20s? How are we gonna make a difference? And for me, my way to make a difference is we need to start more conflicts, start wars, and get these people so we can start making change so we can finally say we can stop having wars over stupid stuff that we figured out in the 2000s. Because once 3000 hit, we should, or well, I guess 3000, the planet might not even be here by 3000. But
Yeah.
by
2100.
2100, we should be able to say we already figured that stuff out. Why are we arguing about it? I don't even know what we arguing about nowadays. Why? What are we supposed to be debating about
On the global scale
on a
or
global
general?
scale?
Yeah, I don't even
Resources,
know.
oil, fossil fuels.
Why oil? If in the next few years they're saying they gonna ban us from buying cars.
I think you lost us there, Miles. Like what?
No, like California already said they're gonna ban all gas power purchases after the year 2030 something whatever. So
Yeah, I
after that,
mean,
so why well I guess California's probably getting ahead of the curve, but what these other states are saying, hey, we're gonna probably follow that same process if it works for them. Why is oil so important then? That's where I always question. I'm always questioning like if we're still arguing about oil, ooh, if I understand now because we the mother effing United States, we need oil for our military. That makes sense now. Okay, never mind. I asked my own question.
Yeah, we're not dependent on other energy yet. They still need it, Miles.
They still need it, yep, because we ain't figured out how our military can be ran on all electric or on solar power.
Didn't
We
didn't they
figured out
release
how
a
our
report?
houses. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Didn't the military release a report earlier this year saying they had to convert to alternative forms of energy production because it was a national security concern? Like
I bet.
they can't be dependent on oil much longer. Like, yeah, it's a national security issue. We should probably find alternative
hmm.
energy
That
sources.
makes sense. That makes
And
sense.
that's why the government's going to start investing in it because the military
Because
wants to keep its might
yes,
as in yeah.
yep. So thinking about all this, like after the oil conversation, what's the next conversation? Well, we're gonna like right now. Russia's fighting with Ukraine, from what I understand, for resources and more land. Because why? I don't know. I still don't know. I don't
The
understand why.
political calculus for Russia is that Ukraine is well, I
Russia.
mean, they were moving towards like, Western ideals and, joining like the European Union, for instance, or eventually joining NATO. And so Russia just to get ahead of that invaded because like one thing if you've ever seen a map of like Europe, Ukraine is like right next to Russia. And one thing like, and I guess like I could, show you like a YouTube channel that talks about like conflicts and stuff. It's called Real Life Lore, and he went in depth in like
I
explaining
did see
why.
that video. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, when
Yeah,
he
and
was
he
saying
explained.
showing how everything was surrounding Russia and
Yeah,
all
like
the
NATO was basically just like expanding territory, and eventually like, that's a huge national security risk for Russia because there's really nothing separating, like NATO countries, their borders with like, Russia. Like if you see like the map, like all there is like plains, like,
yeah,
and it goes straight into Moscow. And
yes.
so
They
so
showed that
Russia,
Ukraine by Russia taking Ukraine, that would open up their trade ports to that sea that was down there.
yeah. And I guess like Russia had the view that Western countries would want to try to control them in a way. Um by like, exerting some more military force against them. So they preempted that and just went to war in Ukraine.
Yeah,
But
that makes sense. And but that's where it's like so pretty much in the future we just gonna have to tell Russia, hey Russia, you're fucked. Just go ahead and accept it. Either become part of whatever you need to become, or you're gonna self implode and your pride's gonna keep and get your people. Actually, it's pretty much if those people understand they have the right to leave or they have their ability to leave, yeah, it might be time for y'all to just leave and let Putin do what he got to do. Or I don't know. I do not know why Russia is. I don't know. It's just
I mean, you have to put yourself in their shoes, like, and I'm not saying this to like, condone what they're doing or anything. I'm just saying that like there is a very strong sense of, nationalism in Russia. Very much, like pro Russia anything. And so whenever like they have to deal with a Western country, it's like they kind of see it as like selling out their own interests in a way.
I'm gonna be honest with you. In the next 20 years, I do not think these countries are gonna have the nationalism that they had in the past. Because right now, I can see the next generation don't give a damn about this United States. Next
Hmm.
few generations not gonna give a damn about Great Britain, the UK, Germany. We all gonna be TikTok country, and it's gonna happen. And I can see it. I can see it molding that way. So everybody just like, you know what? I've been seeing people in different countries my whole life. Why do we have these borders?
Hmm.
I could see something like that happening probably like 200 years, maybe 250, maybe 300. To where it's like, hey, listen, why are we still doing these border things? All of us is one, and that's gonna be. I think that's gonna be the TikTok era to where all the TikTok
Well,
people just merge together, or the Fortnite people just merge together, and they just like, you know what? I don't believe in borders no more. I identify as
there.
United States of everybody.
I mean, I think, it just comes down like to the central point of like differences between people. Like, the European Union has no borders. You can easily travel to any other country in the
Yeah,
European
Yeah.
Union, but that doesn't separate like, the Spanish from the French. There's still that cultural difference, you know. And I think also one thing that you mentioned was nationalism, but
mhm.
I think there's a difference though between being patriotic for your country or just like being foaming at the mouth like, Russia can never do any harm or any wrong. Like there's a big difference in that. And like I think,
I agree with
young
that.
people nowadays it's like they recognize like, here in the US, like there are problems here, but you can always make it a better country. And that doesn't make you like any less of a patriot. Whereas like, the right wing is like, well, America never did anything wrong. Like I feel like that's the difference between like, patriotism and nationalism.
See, and that's where I think that like the way we're heading, eventually it's going to go past just we can fix this to the whole worldly thing. Because
Yeah.
like even in high school, it was like we were global warming. There's a world issue. We need to address it as a world. And I'm like, yeah, but how about we start with just our part? And that was to where it's like other people, how dare you think about just doing your part? You need to do it for every. Oh, okay. So we're doing it for more of a worldly. And I feel like that's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger to where eventually it's going to be like, hey, Russia, you did all that fighting for what? Now you're a part of the EU. Welcome.
I, I think adding on to that, you can correct me if I got the term wrong. I think it's called the observer's effect, where an astronaut goes into space, looks at the Earth as a whole, and like, yeah, I don't see any borders, and they have like a whole different mindset when they
Mm.
get
Yeah,
back on Earth. And now,
I see
and
people doing that.
now with
Yeah.
the internet and the younger generations coming up, and everyone's interconnected, you can have a best friend who's in Korea when you live in the U.S. and vice versa. And everyone's so interconnected that the
Yeah.
concept of borders and tribalism doesn't exist as much anymore.
It
It's more
doesn't
The
exist.
just
the
that,
main the main things that
yeah,
like split people is, just like identity, being able to speak a
that
common language. That's like,
tribalism,
if you
tribe
can't
mentality. Yep.
if you can't like speak, the language that you're trying to communicate in, it's just like there's no form of communication. And like with technology, for instance, Google Translate, you're able to break down that barrier of, having differences in language. And so like globalization in a way is like breaking down barriers to like that essence of, the differences that make us.
And then it's
And
easier to understand other cultures, so you're not scared of them or think they're weird. You can get the explanations as to where they come from, why they're important, or why they're even better than what you currently practice. So, with that increased communication, makes for a more global mentality in the younger generations. And yeah, I totally agree, Miles. 20 years from now, 30 years from now, when you got a different generation in charge, things are going to be a lot different.
I see it already to where it's like these kids, they're literally like, I'm old. Look at this. I'm watching this sushi market in Japan. You watching the sushi market in Japan? Let me look at the sushi market in Japan. Look at them. look at it. I'm literally, and then there's going to be a time to where it's like people are speaking in their other language, and you're literally watching it through your Google Glass, and you're reading it like subtitles. I know it's going to happen. I know it's coming. We're getting closer and closer to that technology merge to where it's like there is no reason to be apart for language gaps, and so that's where I'm like looking at Russia, like what is the world issues, and oil valid, Russia's issue valid, but for how long, and then how long, what was one of our world issues, slavery, and then we look after that was over, it was just like, why really were we fighting for it? Everyone was like, yeah, that was wrong from the get-go. I'm looking at all these world issues to where it's like, how long do you justify that being an issue before we just accept the change? And that's where I'm like, okay, for our world issues, I would like competition to make those problems be solved faster than just, let's just go through the trials and tribulations and then it happens.
Now, Miles, I do got to ask: do you think that country that's controlling the U.S. is also the one pulling the strings for what the next global crisis is?
Oh
like
yeah,
they picked slavery, they picked oil. What do you think the next one they're going to pick is?
Oh yeah,
They got to stay in charge somehow. They got to keep their power. Somehow.
They got to stay in charge, because if we merge together, we find out who they are. It's over for them.
Fear the plebeians. Fear the plebeians. When the masses gather.
I don't know. I think the whole. I don't know. I don't want to say the LGs and the Bs and that's. I don't think that's an issue. I don't think that's going to be a big enough issue for them. I think it's this controlling country. Ooh, what would be the biggest issue?
It might be a battle. It might be another battle of religion next, given how.
I think so.
Given how extremists a lot of faiths
I hate to agree with that, but yeah, I think that might be a thing.
Because at the end of the day, if there's no resource to fight over, people battle over ideas instead.
Thoughts. Yeah, it's ideas and thoughts. To where it's like, it could be the flat earthers. We could just go ahead and just say, do you believe in flat earth? And someone's like, they're twitching because they're trying to keep it in. They're like, I believe in the flat earth. Like, get up! Like, I can see that being the next thing. But I don't know. Like what could be the next thing? Yeah, that's a good question. What idea could be the next polarizing?
While you think of that, I do want to say this real quick. If it was the other way, where the flat earthers are in control and everyone else is running away, that'd be funny, because it's like he can only run in a straight line till he gets to the end. Just keep going.
He's still going.
Wait, what?
No, if he keeps going, he's gonna prove us wrong. Stop him. That would be wild. That would be totally. Yeah, I don't know. I do not know. What would be the? I think it would just be the electric versus gas people. To where it's like, look, my Ford F-150 can't even pull this trailer up this hill because of the electric. I can see that being the next battle. But that'll be after oil. Oil ends up being gas prices at $10-15 a gallon. But well, man, that is a good question. What would be the next polarizing, other than religion?
I don't know. It might be something that we wouldn't even know.
Yeah, it would have to come out later in life.
Maybe it'd be something about implants in the brain or something. It's
if it is about resources, it would have to be technology related, something that gives someone control over technology.
To where people can live past their death.
Whether medical or the way we communicate, it would be tech, or even microchip control. It'd just be technology related. That'd be the next resource, if anything. Otherwise, at the end of the day, if there's no resource to fight over, it's going to be a battle for religion. But
yeah, literally, yeah. Wow. Oh man, y'all got me thinking now. Oh, y'all got me thinking.
The atheists ride into battle. We fight for us.
We fight for spaghetti.
The spaghetti monster.
The spaghetti monster. All glory to the spaghetti man. Or we're the the Lucanites. We follow Luke Skywalker. Like, what? Oh my gosh, get out of here.
Yeah, you're gonna have the nerd fandom starting to lead wars.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I already know. The Marvel versus DC. Like, if DC had better movies, that would be a whole religion in itself.
Do you think there are going to be any new religions like in the future?
Yes,
Like
I think
maybe like in
if
the near future, maybe? Who knows?
if we find a intelligent life form out there that can look us in the face and like wave, that's gonna start a new religion.
What would they
I
believe?
They would believe that they're all those species living on a planet that's more hazardous than us, and they're able to survive. That must be something. That must be something that they have, and something that they know. Just it would be like the UFO people saying, you know what, I praise the UFO, or I praise their species, because if their species ever came here, they would
Hardworking.
thrive. Or go ahead, say that again.
They're hardworking aliens. These
They're
are not
hardworking aliens.
illegal aliens.
And then one person's going to be like, you know, let's go to that planet and bring them back here. And then whatever alien comes on this planet, they step off and they grow like 15 feet. They're like, oh hell, yeah, I can see that being the next religion, something crazy like that. I can see that, but it wouldn't be something unless Pokemon came to life, and then that'll be a whole nother religion.
I mean, they kind of did with Pokemon Go. They just have to get that next step in technology to make it more realistic now.
And if they made a live action,
and then Nintendo owns the world.
Oh yeah.
Miles, the thing about the aliens, though, that's a really interesting topic because, like, you know, like with religion, like, what would Christians have to say about that? What would, you know, like Jewish people, Muslims, what would people like Buddhists say about that? Because just think about it, like, you know, the whole like central tenet of religion is that, you know, like I guess like in Christianity, like, you know, God created us in His image. Or
I
you
can
know,
see that.
and then so like that's just like okay, then like now you introduce aliens, and it's like, well, who are we then? Like, or like, are we like still in God's image, and like these are just like, you know,
the Catholic
demons?
Church has already commented on that. The Catholic Church has their own observatory, and they've actually been looking for alien life themselves, saying that proof of alien life will support their proof in God. I'd have to find the articles for you. But yeah, all the way back as early as 2012, they announced that they believe in aliens, and they're actually searching for them with their own observatory. Because they've had an observatory for decades.
Yeah.
If anything, they would probably try to convert the aliens to Catholicism.
Oh my God! If that happens, I swear.
They're gonna set up a deacon. They're gonna set up a deacon on that planet.
If they set up a church on that other planet, you know what? I will. Wow, I wouldn't even know what to think. Oh my God! Did they put a church on the other planet just for the new aliens to now find? Oh my gosh!
They get a Miles Award for going the extra mile, right?
Yeah, they would. You know what? Hey, listen, clap,
Jesus died for your alien sins.
Oh my gosh! If that, oh, I couldn't. Oh my gosh, that would be so.
That'd be the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah, but my thing is, I know for a fact Jehovah's Witness is gonna make it there first because they knock on everybody's door. I swear. Oh my gosh, that would be crazy. But no, I think they would, like most religions, would just add a paragraph. Disclaimer.
It's like, oh, and aliens also. Yeah.
Yeah, this is before we figure out. This is the New Testament. This is the next version. This is the Quran number 2. Like that's when the now people are going to build new Bibles or new adaptations to fix the inaccuracy or just add on top of it and say, oh yeah, and this is what we thought. 2000, what was it? They would say BC, like before Christ, after Christ. Then they would say before aliens. So this would be BA, before aliens, or after aliens. That's how they'll change like that. That's how I see it.
They're currently the scientific community uses BCE, before Common Era. Yeah. So it'd probably be like BCE and then BA. So before Common Era and then before aliens.
Yeah, before aliens. Oh man, yeah.
way.
That would be so crazy. That would be like we already know there's molecules and atoms and microbes on other planets, so that's why they freaking made what's his name, whoever the dude that came from the moon, like freaking, hey, listen, you need a shower before you land down here because we don't want you to bring no crazy stuff to this planet and kill off all our trees or something. He lands in that, the organism jumps off and just destroys every plant life in the facility. Come on now.
They all have like a parasite in them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something to where it's like that's I think that's one of the reasons why most people are like they're scared for people to go to Mars and come back because hey, we don't know what's over there and we don't want that rover that's been driving all over that planet all and come back and now that
Covered in the dust and everything.
yeah
Get
it
its
ends
dirt
up
on our carpet. Yeah.
yeah whatever dead species comes alive when it touches that oxygen again.
Mm.
You
It's
don't
just been
know, like
just been hibernating for 50,000 years. It's no big deal.
it was just waiting for oxygen to come back. Oh, oxygen's here. Here we go. And then it come like 17-foot tall freaking animals.
There's
T-Rex
actually a
come back
movie.
to
There's
life.
actually a movie about that. I don't remember the name, but like these astronauts go to Mars and like I guess I don't remember if they like started trying to terraform it, but like all of a sudden like like these astronauts like they ran out of oxygen and so like they literally had to remove their helmets and then like they realized crap, like we can breathe like and then like there was like some sort of like alien species on the planet itself that was like um it had it like this guy like got a bad cut and so he started bleeding and it dropped onto like the ground and like this alien thing was just like it smelled it and it's like it smells really good and then just like went after this guy and like completely shredded him to pieces.
And that right there. See, and that's why the people that go to Mars on this one-way trip to Mars, they cannot come back.
Hmm.
And I
That's why
can't
it's a
wait
one
to
way. That's why
Yeah.
yeah,
that's
it's
what
one
one
way.
way means.
It's one way, but even if they screaming back, I want to come back. Listen. You knew what you signed up for. You ain't come. We leaving you there. Now, if we find out by leaving them there, something on Mars ends up now being able to jump here like Goku, then yeah, we screwed. We like the alien species takes over that human body. And now it's like I finally have a form, and it jumps back. And you see it fly back to Earth. Like oh yeah, see, look what we done.
Yeah,
Look what
Miles.
we done
You
done.
think
When you
you think
said
Mars is haunted?
Miles,
Yes,
when you said
go ahead.
earlier, you bring a creature back, it gets some oxygen, and it wakes up. My first thought was, do you guys believe in God?
Yeah, yo, yeah. See, do you believe in luck? Do you believe in can we? Because that's the only way we gonna get out of that situation. What? Shoot, God,
Hmm.
luck,
Do you
the
punk?
Fifth Amendment, everything. I need to shoot. I don't know what we gonna do.
You actually, going on a more serious note, like so like every year, like about 50,000 tons of dust, comes from outer space and gets
Okay.
deposited,
Mm-hmm.
in our planet. And so there's like one theory going around and it's like, viruses are not alive. Viruses are just like mechanical like or like machines like their
Yeah.
only job is to reproduce and so
Mm-hmm.
there's one theory that like all the viruses on earth are not you know they don't come from earth like or like they're all aliens in a way, and so like going back to like the bubonic plague or something, like if you ever read about like there was like omens in the sky like shooting stars right before the plague started and they were saying that like well yeah it's because like those shooting stars had or like some sort of plague on them and that's what came down and that's what started like the whole black death, I mean I think that's a bad example because like that's bacteria that actually causes the plague but like just think about like a flu epidemic, it's just
Like
like
I can see
it
that. I can see that. But other than like the plague was because a whole lot of Europeans were nasty as could be throwing their feces in the middle of the streets and rats out here carrying that thing. But if that ever happened because of like a comet from Pluto,
No, but the thing is,
came
like,
across,
so, like, you have, like, this whole disease that was never, like, Europeans were nasty as fuck, like, well before that, but, like, just all of a sudden for a disease to pop up and just, like, kill, like, what is it,
like
like,
COVID,
70% of the population? Like,
40 to 50.
come on,
like,
I mean,
but let's think about that. That's a that's still a possibility of something coming out of space. So if a comet came by and picked up whatever viruses were on Pluto, past Saturn, got some more viruses or whatever dust that's not we're not prone to on Earth, came back past Uranus, got some of that, and then ends up coming into Earth's orbit and delivering that to us. Yes, I can see that's a 100% possibility. That really could happen.
I just got a comment from our producer. He says every year, like clockwork, Mars sends its next bioweapon missile, an asteroid with the next version of the flu on it.
Wouldn't be surprised. Would not be surprised whatsoever if it did come. But the thing is, you got to think about it. Who would be the perfect person to figure out how to cure it? And that is the people we out here say thank you for saving the world. Because right now, the best, what was the best inventions for what, COVID? Who cured COVID? We still working on that. Just imagine something from outer.
The
Technically,
thing
yes.
is, like, there is no cure for COVID. There's only like
Yeah.
remedies to try to get your
Treat it.
immune system to recognize it. But
Now
like
think
just
about
like
this.
any
Treat it.
virus, like it changes, like with
Treat it
every
or
reproduction.
mitigate it.
If it's
Treat or
something from
mitigate.
outer, go ahead.
Treat or mitigate it, but there's nothing to prevent it.
See, that's where if it's some outer space virus, and they got a 98% death rate, I think somebody's gonna need to sit down and say, "Hey, we really need this this cure because we need a cure that even if you get infected again, you don't die."
Imagine like a virus like Ebola that has like a 90% like,
Yeah.
fatality rate. Like if you get Ebola, it's like yeah, you have no chance of surviving really. But like imagine Ebola's hard to get though. Like or like you have to really
hard to get.
go out of your way
Yeah.
to get it. But like
Yeah.
imagine if it was just like easily as spread as like the cold. Like
I'm saying, yeah, something from outer space to where it doesn't just affect humans. It affects your dog, your cat, your fish, your bird. Giraffes are dying, zebras are dying. Everything across the planet is dying.
hide your
because
wife, hide your kids, hide your dog.
Yeah, you don't go outside. If an ant comes in your house, it got it. That's where I'll be like, you know what? Someone gotta be that person. Be like, you know what? It's my time. It's my time. It's my time to shine. Here we go. And have that competitive spirit, not the okay. This is trial number 8,445. We've lost everybody on the planet. There's no more dogs. There's no more cats. Every gerbil has died. The last ant colony is underground. Like that. That's where I go back to the challenge of if we can have competitive spirit to challenge each and every country to do its best, we can make this world a better place.
Actually, that'd be
Right.
cool way. Like, it becomes a zombie apocalypse. Like everything like turns into like a zombie. That'd be cool.
Evidence, yeah.
For anyone listening, don't steal our movie ideas. We're gonna capitalize on these.
Actually, yeah, I copyright
We're
that.
claiming it. We're time stamping this. We're gonna claim it.
Yeah, we're
Hey, listen, I got so many ideas of movies, but I don't even think about it putting that in a movie or just like a SNL skit. Just know we copyrighting this. This ours, all right? Everything, all the thoughts and ideas that came out of everybody in this podcast is ours, all right?
All right,
Oh,
everybody. We thanks for listening in. We're glad to have you.
Oh,
Glad you
wow.
stayed along this long to join us on this conversation.
Are we glad
This is,
though?
you know what? I'm glad.
Oh.
we got a new movie idea or two out of this, but at the end of the day, we also got we also got some good conversation. But
That's
yeah,
true.
this is Orik. I just wanted to thank Ari and Miles for joining me again today for another conversation here on Unfiltered Pineapple. And yeah, don't forget to follow us on our socials. We look forward to posting more stuff on there. But otherwise, have a great day, everybody.
See
Yeah.
ya.
Later. Later.